Okay, so we start with the good. The first 20 minutes, we were fantastic, especially the 1-2 for the goal. Carvalho's like weighted pass for Graben to run onto after Graben had played it to him in the first place. It was absolutely exquisite. And then Joe Lolly completely ran him ragged. The best bit being this mazy run. I don't know how he kept the ball, but then somehow he kept it, beat about three or four players, and then hit the bar with his shot. After that, we get to the bad. So first of all, Norwich's pace tore us to pieces in the first half. We managed to counter that by sitting a bit deeper and working a bit harder in the middle of the field. In the second half, it was like our midfield was non-existent. Completely, Colback and Watson weren't there at all, and Norwich completely dominated the second half. Fair play to them. I mean, you could argue there was a bit of gamesmanship on their part. They seemed to go down every slightest provocation. But, I mean, they controlled the game. They deserved the win. Um, when it came to us going forwards, Graben didn't even get a sniff of the ball. Lolly and Carvalho are really our only outlets because Colback and Watson, they looked exhausted. They just weren't in the game whatsoever. Diaz sort of drifted in and about. Osborne couldn't really get anywhere because he was stuck at the left back position. So it was a real surprise when Carvalho and Lolly were the ones that were substituted. There was a bit of a boo for when Lolly was substituted, and you could tell he was really, really surprised. The substitutions that were made, they made absolutely no difference whatsoever to the state of the game. In fact, we ended up playing with the Hef up front for the last 10 minutes. And as you can expect, if you're playing a centre half up front, we just looked awful. It was awful. The really, really ugly bits, right? There are two ugly things I want to talk about. Number one, Pantilimon, his confidence looked shot to pieces to the point where we got a goal kick. He was under no pressure whatsoever, no players near him, and he just hesitated and hesitated to kick it to the point where he got a yellow card for time wasting. That's not the sign of someone who's confident. Same, he was weakly punching the balls. He was dropping it. He didn't know what to do when it came to distribution. It didn't look good. But then the really, really ugly bit. So in the first half, I was really impressed. I noticed that when the fans were singing, there were lots and lots of songs for Aitor Karanka. And I've said to a lot of people, I live in Leeds, I've said to a lot of Leeds fans, this manager, I absolutely love him. I think he's fantastic. After the game today, he basically said the players are worried about playing at the City ground because the fans get on their back too quickly. Now, today, we were awful in the second half, and I didn't hear the fans get on the players' back that much. I mean, there was the odd moan and the groan when the passes went astray and things looked a bit crap, basically. But there was no getting on the players' back. I mean, I've heard that Forest fans get on the players' back, and there was none of that today. And I think Karanka's made a big mistake in saying that because he might have been trying to deflect attention away from the poor performance or something like that, protect the players. Well, I think today he should have just said, look, we were poor. I made some mistakes with the substitutions, and that's the end of it.